Welcome back to Man Cave Models. So after we left the engine in a few little bits. So off camera I've done a few little extra bits ready for paint. So what I did was I took I'm just trying to see if it's easier to show you on there. Right, so show you what I did. So these parts here, if you remember, I was saying about this as being black and that's silver. So instead of painting them separately, what I did is I cut the lugs off these parts, and then I fitted them to this part. So you can see them there, and then they sit in a bit of a push like so. I'll put my hand down there, focusing. Yeah, so you can see they sit, and then I saves me masking them up. And most of this part is going to be black anyway. So that's all XF18, and this bit in the middle is that'll be silver. So that's about the only bit that I'd have to mask around now. And obviously that came off. I didn't want it to, but it came off. But I'm keeping that one on there so we know what numbers, what parts, what part. I put there's the exhaust pipes. And I put what I think is definitely the carb on the end, ready to go. The air filter I put together because that will go. So it all goes, at the moment, it all goes into one big lump. So it looks like what it's supposed to look like. And I went ahead and put the two parts onto this. So because it calls out for this bit to be a semi-gloss black as well. So that's body colour, that'll be semi-gloss black, and you can see the engine sits into that bay. So that's what I've done with that piece there. I only saves a little bit of time off camera, and it's not a complicated part to do. So now less gabbering, we're going to give this a base coat, and we're going to probably use, I've got aluminium alkylads that I can use on this, which we'll probably use. So there'll be a little bit of drying times and stuff like that. So we'll sort of pause it in between and then come back to it. All right, let's get it over to the spray booth. Sorry about the noise. It's just an extraction unit. So just a black gloss. Right, so we've base coated everything with the Vallejo gloss black, and I've just gone over the top of the areas that we want to be aluminium with Duralinium, which is Extreme Metals, AK's Extreme Metal Paint, and it's number 482. I've gone for that colour because I have another aluminium which is 478, but it's a lot lighter, and we don't want it too light because we want to weather it up a bit, and I don't want it too shiny. So I've just gone over a few. I thought my phone had filmed it, but it hadn't, so we missed me doing it. So I don't know if you can see. That looks quite nice. Gives a bit of shadow here and there, but bearing in mind we are going to weather this as well, so we don't, like I say, we don't want it to look too clean and tidy and too shiny. So we'll dull some of this down. So all they're done, I just want to let that lot dry. I'll let it dry and then show you what it looks like. Right, so the engine parts have had time to dry. I've just started doing a little bit of weathering on these, just to sort of take a bit of time out of the video, to be quite honest. So I've stopped at a point that I think that I can do a little bit on screen and show you, but as it stands, this is our back cover. I don't know if you can see. If you can see the there, so I'm just starting to chip. There you go. So just trying to chip at the black because we don't want that. I want that quite beat up and around a few places. So exhaust inlet, and it looks like, I think this is the air down to the cylinders, because that's definitely the carburetor. And I think that one, when you look at the pictures, is normally just a bit minging, but it's not as rusty as obviously the exhaust pipes. Obviously I've done the black here. I have to mask that off, and I've done the black here. I have to mask this off and do this in the sand. Drive shafts are the same, so we've got a gloss black, then with this rubber black to get a difference, and we'll dry brush this with a few lighter shades of the very dark grey. So it just to sort of like continue on quickly with the chipping, so my paint don't go off. I'll do that quickly, and then I'll put sort of semi-assemble it for you. And yeah, so I'm actually using, so I've got a set from Ammo by Mig. It's a rust set. It's got, so let's just get these out for you. Put the camera up a little bit into it. There you go. There. So you got what it says. This is off their rust set. So maybe I might have picked up wrong, but it says red leather. That is quite old and worn out. That's medium rust. Dark rust, which is quite a reddish colour. you're chipping in your well, that's your shadow rust. And I think you've got a chipping colour as well. This is quite a dark colour, which I probably won't use that. I haven't been using that because it's on the black, and to be honest, it's very hard to see it if you do it. So at the moment I'm going through with the shadow rust. So I'm going to carry on doing that on this piece. So I've got to go up around here, up onto these bits, and then should. But so yeah, that's the plan. So for anybody that hasn't done this before, you see I've got a few different colours out. That's if I want to chop and change in a minute. Just move some of this back out of the way for you. So, little soft sponge, broke down to nice small bits. Dip it in. Take it off so it's really not leaving like a lot behind. So if you look, so you're looking for that sort of effect. Not so much that. If you're doing bigger areas, then obviously that would be quite nice, but we're going to concentrate on that sort of effect. And the other thing with this paint is it's also better to try and keep it fresh on your palette, because it does tend to sort of start drying out and get a bit thick. So around this area here, that bit there, that's where the exhaust pipes go, so we want to hit that with a fair bit because the heat would have taken off a fair bit of paint there. I don't know if you can see that. I was trying to the chipping paint pens. No, they've got their uses, I'm sure, but I find them a little bit hard to get into a detailed area, to be honest. That's enough on that bit. So as you can see, I've actually that was with those AK pens. It's quite good for that. So I started trying to do this with what's going on with my light. Oh, I see. Better. Yeah, so I tried to. That's with the. You can just see it there. Look, that was with the AK pen, and then yeah, I'm not dismissing them yet because I think they will have their uses. So I want to duff this one up a bit more because this is the air cleaner, and air cleaners. Most pictures I've seen of them, they did get quite minging. So we're going to duff it up a bit. I suppose a little bit up on that bit. Right, so let's see if I can swap a colour out. Might do it. Start on some other way. Just try and add a bit more. So that would be we're using the dark rust now. I haven't done any washes or anything yet. I'm kind of thinking that when I do it, this will darken some of this up a bit for us again. As far as I work on that. Yeah. So I shall carry on with this a minute, and then I should be back. So chipping done so far as I want to go for a minute. I can get this into there for you. There you go. That will get darker when I give it a wash. Obviously got more bits to paint now. On here, so from that point there goes up to, there's a pipe that goes from there to there, which is the obviously a fuel line, and for here there's a pipe that goes down there through there, and I think it goes into the back of this. Now I'm not putting that on this because although I'm doing all this painting on the engine, I won't be putting it in. Well, it'll be going in, but you're not going to see it because obviously I won't be having the back open. So I think the lights are a bit, the camera's making it look a lot brighter than it is at the moment. But there you go, you can see all that grimy, starting to look like a nice grimy little engine, isn't it? So obviously I'll redo the blacks. Some of these bits here will be a bit fresh rust here and there, and once you ever wash it, like I say, it will darken it out, give it a bit more depth, and it should bring it all in together. So that'll be our next job. Just let this dry a minute, and then we shall look at doing washes. But in the meantime, I do need to paint this a different colour, which I will do, and just maybe add a few little bit more bits of chipped black into this tube here. But yes, that's where we are at the moment. So just let that dry and then we'll do some washes. Right, so we've got taking it back apart again, ready for washes. I'm going to use Ammo Mix Streak and Grime. I am going to sort of like give it a good old thick wash and then clean it all off. So we've done the extra bits I was going to paint, which is change that to grey, a little black bit on the top there. Not a lot to do, just have to wait for that to dry. So let's get on and whack some stuff on. Nothing worse than a bottle that's it's just like half empty, so it's like you're putting you're trying to just put your brush in to get loads. We're just looking to dirty it up, and we'll probably go over this with a pin wash of like black and then like engine oil and stuff like that. But at the moment we're just gonna get it in there. Obviously it's just a shame that you sort of paint over everything you painted. Don't be afraid to do this, by the way. It's enamel based, this stuff, so as long as you don't leave it too long, you can come back and wipe a fair bit of it back off. How about you? Yeah. Mucky old job. Well, it's Sunday and the weather is terrible. I don't know if you can hear this on through my mic, but it's bunging it down out there. Just the right day for stuff like this. Sit up and just plod along. Yeah, so you can see it's pretty much covered all over at the moment. All that work, and we've just covered the lot. Going to do the rest in a minute. Sorry, a bit of a disappearance. Just bought a new air fryer, and the wife wanted to see how it worked. So take off what we can. Still a bit wet, but I can get some of it off, so. Good. See, it's not look nice and grimy, look. And get a bit more, a bit, just getting the rest of it while it dries. Not so much to get out in a bit. Let that go a bit. On go. That one. Yeah, as I was saying, the weather's awful weather, isn't it? Absolutely awful. We went out this morning. God, couldn't get out of the car. The wind was that strong. So I'm not an engine builder generally. I'm not. Should I say I'm not? I normally don't worry with the engines and stuff because 90% of the time, like you say, you don't see them. See some of the ones people build, or they look like a real thing, don't they? But hopefully we'll get close and it'll look how we want it to look. Like I say, by the time you've got to sort of, let's just do the steps with it really and get it all grimy and all mixed, colours mixing in so they sort of match nicely. So I haven't done any dry brushing or anything else on this yet because I need to get these steps in a little bit first. So. Well, that's how I tend to do it. It's not guaranteed everybody does it this way. Like I say, I'm not actually planning on showing off the engine in that, to be quite honest. but I'm sort of just going through the steps a bit for the makes a change not to be painting something green. There's two little lugs on the end I'm holding on to. If you want a good sort of reference, you just go and look in your own engine bay. To be fair, even like a newish car, which ours isn't. Ours is not that new. With it's just normal wear and tear and the grime, it's quite surprising how filthy they really get. Yeah, ours is really in need of a good clean. So doing this should help tie in some of the rust tones and stuff like that as well. So I don't know if I want to do that bit yet, because we've still got plenty to add to this, and this has all got to be painted sand yet. So I'm not going to touch that, and I'm probably going to leave the drive shafts as well for a minute. There you go, there you go. And do them once they're in place. So that's probably that. We just need to let it go for a minute. So it will be probably an hour or so for me, seconds for you. So back in a second. So a bit of drying time. Now, I've gone through some of this. That one is still drying off after I've taken some of it off. So we're getting that nice, well, I think dirty effect at the moment. So see how it's starting to tie the rusty bits in that you did. Same with those. Air filter. Carburetor. Yeah, a bit closer. And obviously still got a little bit of cleaning up to do on this one yet. Oh yeah, forgot pulleys. We'll paint the rubber bits in once it's back in place. So a little bit of thinners. And see if we can get some of this back off. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty certain. I've noticed it on. I'm pretty certain this was taking it off. Was taking off some of the metallic, the underneath, which I'm quite surprised by, because normally that stuff's quite tough. I have to let it dry back and see if it's just the shine that's the thinners is creating. But if you look there, you can see that's almost back to black. Yeah, I think I might just leave it at that, just to yeah, let that dry off, I think, and then give it a dry brush with some aluminium, and then see where we are with that. So everything's drying off at the moment, so we're going to let it dry off for a bit. Still, that's one of those, it's the name of the game, in it. So far we've built this up, built this. We should be near this stage, just waiting for stuff to dry. So while we're carrying on, we're going to do this stage and possibly some of this. That does mean that I have to paint this in whatever colour I'm painting the vehicle, so it's going to be a sand colour. So I'll paint this in the sand, and these are black anyway, which I thought they would have been sand. And as we go forward, I've got to look at possibly painting this underside, yeah. So when we fit that in, ready for, so the engine will fit in onto there and down through. We can get the exhaust on, and these done then, ready for top part of the chassis. So we'll get there. This we've already done, this bit anyway. So yeah, let's just concentrate on this bit while we're waiting for paint to dry, and that should be probably it for this video, I think, because I don't want to get too long really. Try to avoid it, but you can't really help it. It just takes as long as it takes. So we're after F28, which is that one. F28, that one, F2 and F7, F2. Oh, that's good because they're the same. F2. It's an F2. So S7. Now on this, on the last few videos I've done, and I do sort of like the fact that it's nice to try and keep the costs down of tools, paints and everything else. But the only thing I will say is it does pay to buy a decent set of clippers, and only use them for cutting your plastics, not anything else like I would normally do. After replacing a few, I tend to try not to get any more, just plastics, and use an old pair for cutting wires or solder or anything like that you're going to be cutting. Okay, That's the trouble, you get one thing out and you're looking for something else then, aren't you? Because you know, as much room as you want, and you still will be looking for things. Mind you, like I say, I moved everything around in here the other week, so this where we are now. The corner we're in is, it used to be like just a cabinet, and the spray booth was here as well. So we had a cabinet sort of there, and then the spray booth beside it, and now that's all over the other side, which gives me loads more room to work. But upon my avarice, still trying to find where I put things. So over the course of quite a few years of doing this, you do end up with a lot of stuff. But when I had me sort out of all my bits and bobs, you'll be surprised how much you end up. You've got to be a bit ruthless sometimes and bin a few things. Yeah, I started saying, I'll keep this and I'll keep that. So I sold off a couple kits that I had. Still got a couple kits left to sell off. Bought myself a new compressor, so I got a double-headed one, which is quite nice. But that's another one, you spend all your time looking after your airbrushes and stuff. I flush them through every time I use them, and then make sure they're sort of as clean as I think they're going to be. But then every so often it pays just to strip them down and give them a bit of a good clean up, because they do need it. So this isn't really a complicated bit. I'll just do these and I'll be back. You don't need to watch me doing all of it. Right, so that's the bits cut and clean. That one I've just put together, and so we'll do the same to this one. Now with this, doing the other one, I noticed, so if you put them in the keyway, so you can't go far, you've got, if you can see this, you've got, see the play, which is, in fact, that's quite a bit. So what I've decided I was going to do was, if I take the play up to the top, like I have on that one, then at least that way, one, it will probably make the back a little bit lower, if anything. But then if you're putting equipment in the back, a little bit lower isn't a bad thing. So we're going to go for the play to be at the top. And that little bit here sits onto there. This is where I'm filming it, so it's not going to do what it's supposed to. Like so, there you go. Bit of a little squeeze. I'll put some pegs on it in a second. And make sure that's at the top, which it is. Handy little peg. They're quite good because they're not, they're strong, but they're not like over squashing your thing. So when you glue them, it's not squashing everything out. There, so that's the right one. So that's the right one, right? And that's the left. So I shall write on one of those, because otherwise I shall forget. So if that will do it. Yeah, there you go. So that's the right one. So that's those two bits. And then if we have a look at these bits as well, because right, you might get before putting anything together, you might get that piece glued into place, which goes there, and then add this bit afterwards. Or failing that, the only other option would be possibly to dry fit everything, then add this piece and this piece, then add those, possibly. But no, you can't add these until you're ready to, because the once they're in, you'd have to flex them out again, wouldn't you, to get them out. It looks quite deep by all accounts, by the looks of that. I'll think about it. I think I'm just going to worry about this bit for a minute. This I'll work out, probably put this together and paint this, and then come back to you with it painted but not totally weathered. Or I could weather it, because it's, you know, we're doing it, and you can clearly see it's not too complicated steps. So yeah, and then just, yeah, and then on the next video we can possibly get these added. That'll be painted, sorry, we'll make sure that'll be painted, and we should be able to get down to here somewhere, if not a bit further if we can. Just got to try and maybe do a few bits off camera that was easy, and then you can see what they are. Just get the time down a little bit. But these are gloss black, these. So these are gloss black. So what I might do is in between videos is make them, and when I paint the other bits, paint those as well, and then we can go from there. But so yeah, we're just waiting for, like I say, paint to dry on the engine. We can put that, then we can put that together. So I'll be back in a second once I clear the bench. Right, just going to go over this a bit of dry brushing. I'll start with that, I think. So for those who haven't dry brushed, basically I can't find my small dry brushing brush, so I'm using that one, which is a waste one. It's flat. Put your paint on your brush and wipe off as much as you can, so it's hardly leaving anything on your paper. And then you can just gently just go over the edges of what it is that you want to dry brush. So sorry, it's awkward to have. I'm not trying to go too mad with it, just highlight what we can highlight. The downside with I'm using the tamiya aluminium, and the downside with the tamiya paint is it does tend to dry out really quick. Yeah, I think that will probably do us. Like I say, I can always come back to it once it's in place as well. Take a quick so put it together and show you what we. So there we go. That's what we've got so far for our VW engine. We put him in his cradle. Yeah, that's what we got. Oh, sorry. There you go. See if I can turn this camera a bit more for you. There. There. One duffed up, dirty looking engine. There you go. So, like I say, I'll do some bits off camera, ready for the next video. But I think we're going to call it that for this video. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Any comments, please comment. If you're doing the same one and you got the same build and you've got any questions, just ask. We've got a group on Facebook now, which is Man Cave Models UK as well. If you want to join and post your builds, or you got doesn't have to be military, it can be anything you want. Sci-fi. If you look on our page, you'll see we've got sci-fi, we've got war game, bit of everything really. Whatever you want to model, you could put on there. Show off your projects, put build photos in there, yeah, all sorts really. But like I say, please like and subscribe. We're trying to grow this channel a bit more, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.